The former police chief who suffocated his suspect to death has now been transferred from Phitsanulok prison to Bangkok's Klong Prem prison this morning. Meanwhile, Phuket has revealed its requirements for domestic travelers wishing to enter into the island, and a plant-based COVID-19 vaccine being developed in Thailand is ready to begin Phase 1 clinical trials this month. Details on these stories and many more are coming right up. You're watching Thailand News Today, your Monday to Friday update on news stories in Thailand. Before we begin, we'd like to give a warm shout out to Paul Shackleton for becoming our latest Thaiger legend. Thank you so much, Paul, for supporting the channel, and you can be a Thaiger legend as well by hitting the join button. And now for our first story. The deputy head of the National Police, Thitisan, has briefed a House committee on the legal case against Thitisan Utthanaphon, aka Joe Ferrari. The former Nakhon Sawan police chief is the main suspect in an investigation into the alleged murder of a man while in custody. Thitisan and 6 of his colleagues have been detained after video footage of 24-year-old drug suspect Dirapong being tortured while under interrogation went viral. Thitisan is accused of placing up to 6 plastic bags over the suspect's head, allegedly in an attempt to extort 2 million baht from him. The man can be seen struggling before falling unconscious. The leaked CCTV footage prompted nationwide outrage, with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha ordering an urgent investigation into the man's death. A preliminary investigation has found that the victim's arrest in a sting operation was lawful, but everything else went wrong when the man was being interrogated. Sushad says that when police took the dead suspect to the hospital, they told medical workers that Dirapong had lost consciousness while he was being arrested. However, an autopsy eventually showed that he died of suffocation. Sushad says Thitisan is being charged with providing false information to police, but adds that there is no evidence the former police chief was trying to extort money from the man before he died. In addition to the new perjury charge, the former police chief and 6 other officers have been charged with malfeasance, coercion, murder, and torture. Meanwhile, the 39-year-old former police chief and 6 other police suspects have been transferred from Phitsanulok prison to Bangkok's Klong Prem prison this morning. A heavily guarded convoy left Phitsanulok at 5 a.m. and arrived at Bangkok's main prison at 10 a.m. The move to the Bangkok prison completed the transfer request made on Wednesday to facilitate the investigation, which has been transferred to the Crime Suppression Division. A video interrogation of the accused was held last night before the transfer. They all confirmed their denials of the current accusations. The suspects will now be detained for at least another 12 days while the investigation continues. As Phuket prepares to carefully allow domestic tourists back into the island, new COVID-19 infection numbers remain relatively stable. Daily infections were 235 today, with 6 of the last 7 days reaching above 200. No new deaths were reported and no new Sandbox infections were identified in the past 24 hours. With the influx of new hospital beds yesterday, the bed occupancy rate remained around 70%, but the governor admits the current situation is worrying. Meanwhile, domestic travelers who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 will be allowed to enter the island from September the 8th. Domestic travelers will need to book and pay their accommodations in advance and show proof of their reservations to checkpoint officers. Everyone will need to be vaccinated with 2 doses of Sinovac, Sinopharm, Sputnik 5, or the 1 dose of Sinovac followed by a dose of AstraZeneca, or just 1 dose of AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson. The last dose needs to have been administered at least 14 days before entry. Residents will need to carry proof of their local residential status, which could be a copy of their Blue Book, residential certificate from immigration, or a rental contract. Everyone will also need a negative result from a COVID-19 test, either an antigen or a RT-PCR test, issued no more than 72 hours before arrival. The Baiya vaccine, which is a plant-based COVID-19 vaccine being developed in Thailand, is ready to begin phase 1 clinical trials this month. The vaccine is being developed by Baiya Phytopharm at Bangkok's Chulalongkorn University. The company's founder says human trials can begin once Thailand's Food and Drug Administration has finished reviewing information about the manufacturing process. Subject to the success of the clinical trials, the vaccine will go into production next year, and if all goes to plan, should be rolled out by the third quarter of 2022. The Baiya vaccine uses an Australian tobacco strain that has low nicotine levels. The leaves are used as a host to grow a genetically engineered protein. The protein is then removed from the leaves and used to produce a COVID-19 vaccine that produces antibodies against the virus. The Agricultural and Cooperatives Ministry says that flooding has damaged more than 20,000 rai of agricultural land across Thailand since the start of July this year. Some 7 million baht has been spent compensating more than 1,000 farmers as well. The ministry's deputy spokesman said, according to the report, the compensation covers damages incurred from July the 5th to September the 2nd. Farms in 11 provinces incurred damage, including Kamphaeng Phet, Mae Hong Son, Chiang Mai, Tak, Chiang Rai, Phitsanulok, Uttaradit, Loi, Rayong, Chanthaburi, and Prachinburi. And that's all for Thailand News Today for this week, but definitely stay tuned for other videos that will be released over the weekend. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay on top of the latest stories in Thailand. I'll be back again on Monday, so I wish you all a wonderful weekend, and you're now up to date on the Thaiger.
It's time to join the conversation. Thaiger Talk is our forum where you can share your thoughts and comments about all the news stories, as well as just about anything happening in Thailand. Just scroll down under any Thaiger story, click on Thaiger Talk, register, and you're in. It's time to join Thailand's fastest growing forum. So jump in and be part of the Thaiger Talk conversation.
Tim was sad. He had time on his hands but didn't know where to find the news. But then he remembered. The Thaiger app, all your Thai news and Thaiger videos in one place. Just a single click takes you to a one-stop connection to all the news and information in Thailand. Now Tim is happy. Available free on Apple and Android, hologram not included.